We looked at the memorial basically as a cemetery, which is essentially what it is. There are no graves for those individuals' names who are engraved in that memorial. It's their place of rest.
I was first contacted by Abe Resnick, who was then a Miami Beach commissioner.
Abe Resnick was a Holocaust survivor who had been advocating for the creation of a memorial in Miami Beach. He sought the help of others, including Norman Bremen.
That was Norman Bremen that carried the prestige and the weight and the responsibilities, and he was a wonderful leader.
We had a number of survivors and a number of those that were Americans, and each of the members contributed a sum of money.
The location was predetermined because the city of Miami Beach, through Abe Resnick's efforts, allocated this piece of land to us, literally gave it to us, and all of us deemed that to be a very, very good location.
But some in the community were opposed to the creation of the memorial.
A lot of people were against having the memorial Miami Beach because they felt Miami Beach is a place of sun and fun, and the Holocaust Memorial is a downer. I spoke to a number of commissioners and said, "Do you know the legal address of the memorial?" And they said no. I said the legal address is 1933-1945 Meridian Avenue. Obviously the dates of the Nazi period. And so there's no more appropriate place in the world than here.
The committee persevered. They now face the challenge of developing the site.
I like to say words by Fagan and music by Treister.
Architect Kenneth Treister was given the daunting task of envisioning a memorial that would honor the memory of those lost in the Holocaust.
I wanted a place where a survivor could come and think about their family. So I wanted a beautiful park.
Within that environment, he further created an educational and emotional experience for other visitors.
The park is part of the setting. The photographs are part of the story. The sculpture is the emotion.
The centerpiece of the memorial was a sculpture of love and anguish. The proposal was met with negative reviews.
Miami Herald art critic Helen Cohen has blasted architect Ken Treister's design as too big and out of control. The proposed 7-story raised arm with an open hand is an overstatement, she wrote recently.
We did lower the hand a little bit, but I think now with hindsight, they all agree that the hand is really a striking piece of art, and think it's an asset to the city.
Dr. Helen Fagan, a survivor and Holocaust scholar at the University of Miami, would author the text engraved on the walls beside historical photographs.
Helen kept us on track. She was the voice of the survivors.
One day I came to check something in the construction, and I go to the tunnel, and I see the names of those concentration camps on the floor. One of the first names on the floor that hit me immediately was Treblinka. My parents perished in Treblinka, and I couldn't suffer seeing it being stepped upon.
She stopped cold and said, "We're walking on graves." So we quickly removed the names from the floor and put it on the side of the walls.
The sculptures that would populate the memorial were cast at a foundry in Mexico City, where Treister and a team of 45 artisans worked tirelessly for 3 years to bring the memorial's iconic centerpiece to life.
Working in the foundry was exhilarating. It was exciting. It gave me the energy to build in this very powerful environment. I was building a powerful monument.
Abe Resnick traveled to the foundry to witness the process and accompanied the finished arm on its long journey back to its new home in Miami Beach. Passionately devoted, Resnick slept at the memorial site to protect the precious bronze statue from theft. On February 4th, 1990, with many survivors from the region in attendance, the memorial opened to the public.
I recall one year my aunt came, she lived in Los Angeles, she came here. My aunt literally laid down next to that infant on the floor in the circle and started crying because for her, that was her connection to her children. And she was overwhelmed by it. They understood that this place has the ability to be there for a long time and that it would impact others.
The memorial has deep feelings. Tourists come to see it from all over the world. They come because of the meaningful remembrance that it is.
I have about 50 names of my family on the first panel. One of the names on the memorial is Shlomo Schiff, which is my Hebrew name. And I think to myself, this was my cousin. And if not for an accident of time, place, I could have been that name. He could have been standing here.
The privilege of having my family's names inscribed on the wall, on tablet 1. I stand there and I like talk to them, and people keep, walking by and turning around, and who am I talking to?
I look at those names and I reflect on that. If my mother and father had not made the decision to come to this wonderful country, my name would be up there. Their names would be there as well. I think it's a holy place. I look at it as just a holy place.